corporates. So what is the most important element of corporate innovation success?
Yeah, so yeah, you led very nicely into this subject because so in my career I worked for a company like SAP, which is a large software company which considers itself highly innovative because the software company has to be innovative. And now I'm working for a power utility called E.ON, which wants to consider itself highly innovative, but it's very difficult. Um, like in the Israel Electric Company, an electric company's main goal is to supply highly available and reliable electricity to its customers. Electricity networks are what 150 years old or maybe more from the days of Edison and Nikola Tesla, etc. And the problems of supplying, maintaining, keeping large energy networks is a huge challenge. And it's a relatively conservative situation. You have grids, you have power lines, you have transformers, etc. This in itself is a huge challenge. So a large company like that becomes by nature very conservative and is not embracing innovation as fast as it should. Now, it's not a criticism against the people, it's the fact that the utility has to be conservative because, at least in Germany, our SLA, service level agreement, is that you're not allowed to have more than 15 minutes per year power outage for your customers. Now, it doesn't exist in Israel. It for sure doesn't exist in the United States with all the storms and everything. 15 minutes per year is really almost 99 point, I don't know how many nines after the decimal point.
Yeah.
So the main challenge of the managers is to maintain the system, to keep it running, and not to have any faults. Now, innovation by itself has risks in it, because if we
Sure.
introduce a new innovative system, it could fail in the first phases of its life, even if you did a lot of tests and a lot of evaluations, etc. It's still more risky than the old-fashioned switches and transformers, etc. And this is where the challenge lies, because a middle manager in a utility company has his own or her own KPIs, and they want to go home in peace after the day, and they want to have their weekends and their holidays. And if you come to them with innovative ideas and solutions, their natural tendency is to defer, to delay. Well, maybe not today, maybe not this week, maybe next week, and it's very natural because they have their own job to fulfill, and they want to, as we say in Israel, to come home in peace.
Yeah.
So it's this is the biggest challenge to
Yeah,
introduce.
and it's threatening for them to think that they need to change, they need to do something different, that the regulations has changed, the world has changed. So the fact that they need to do things differently and they're very happy with what they're doing right now, and they're said to, like, this is damaging the earth, we need to change, we have new regulations. It's something that is bothering them because for them it's like what they're used to have, which is very stable, is starting to change, and change is not stable, and it's risky.
The world is changing around us. Us, I mean myself as part of the utility company, even though I'm part of the innovation side of the utility company, and we have to adapt to the change. Now, if we don't adapt to the change, the world will change anyway. And you have the example of the automotive industry, which was a very conservative industry, and because change came about with autonomous driving, not necessarily fully autonomous, but with all kinds of driver support systems, it started with highly innovative mavericks like Tesla, which brought in all kinds of innovation, and the industry had to chase them and had to keep up with them. And today, the automotive industry is highly innovative. It is still conservative because they have regulations and standards, but it's very innovative. I think energy industry will follow the same direction. There will be a lot of innovation happening outside of the energy industry, which will impact the markets. A lot of renewable plants are coming up. In Europe, there are what we call the smart grid systems, where farmers and small enterprises and even private people are producing energy, and they can sell it into the system, into the grid on its own, by themselves. And not only that, they can even form independent communities. Imagine a village that pools money together and puts together a solar plant outside of the village and supply and has a storage system and supplies the village with energy, and they say to the energy company, thanks, we have our own energy, we don't need your energy, we only use you as a backup. And the energy company is still obligated to serve them as a backup, but most of the time they will not buy energy from the utility. So
Yeah.
utility has to keep up, because otherwise it will change the
It
scenery.
will